Welcome, one and all, to the FSHD Society's Giving Tuesday Radiothon. The FSHD Society radio show is live now on Facebook, and we are going to give you amazing guests throughout the whole day from 8 a.m. to, man, how long am I here? 10 p.m. Central Time. It's going to be an amazing event. I just love the interaction and the communication and all the back workings of this event, but also the people that are going to be involved throughout the day today, all the great guests, all our great sponsors, including Avidity Biosciences and Dyne Therapeutics. Couldn't do it without their help, so we appreciate that for sure. You can also give right away. Let's just jump at it right off the bat. Give through Facebook at the FSHD Society's page. Just click the donate button. Text to give. That's text FSHD to 243 725. That's how you give, and that's how you give on this Giving Tuesday event. So without much more delay, I think we've given enough time for people to start realizing, holy cow, this is early in the morning for some, and we're going to start getting this ball rolling right away. And who better yet than to kick us off? He is our, master of ceremonies, the guy that, pumps us all up, gets us started, and will start our Giving Tuesday event. That is our CEO, Mark Stone. Hey, Mark, how are you doing? Good morning.
Wow, what an introduction, Tim. We don't pay you enough. Of course, we don't pay you much in anything, so.
That's okay.
No, good morning, Tim. It's great to spend some time with you. Got my coffee. I am nestled in for the day. Last year, it was amazing, and looking forward to enjoying this year, and it's already been a flurry of activity behind the cameras. Last night, this morning, got some great news to share with everybody and all that, but it's wonderful.
You just hung out a massive teaser right there, Mark. That's like, usually we do that and then we say after the break, and everybody hang on. Do you want to talk about that right off the bat? That good news you're kind of dangling in front of us there.
Everyone here has a sense that right now might be one of those moments in history where we are really going to impact and influence the future. And things are coming in. Last night and yesterday afternoon late, we went back and forth with an individual that is perhaps willing to see our match, literally with $100,000. And then we got more people that said, we're willing to put up a match so that other people who give today can double their dollars, can double their donations. So this is amazing already. What a time to launch. So I think we're going to match up to 150,000. And I expect that match number to go up throughout the day. So all of your donations that come in will be matched and are vitally important, especially during this interesting year. Let's just call it that.
Yeah, how has this year been for the FSHD Society, Mark? I know it's been a challenge for so many. I know we've pivoted, to say the least, through a lot of the events. But from your perspective, from your point of view, how has this been?
I would say it's been the best of times and the worst of times, but that might be overselling the worst of times, because with any challenge, and our staff have learned this from our families across America and around the globe. Anytime any of our families are faced with a challenge, they overcome. And they figure a way to pivot. They figure a way to make it happen anyway. And so it's with that same indomitable spirit that the staff has approached this year, especially once March came. And as far as the best of times, had COVID not happened, had the lockdown not happened, had sequester not happened, perhaps we would not have enlarged our reach and enlarged our community. And this is important because clinical trials are coming, more clinical trials in 2021 and 2022. And while we filled the Fulcrum trial very quickly, and that was advantageous, especially with what happened with COVID, and they're moving forward and almost completed with that. There are other trials that could exhaust our patient population, our families that could actually sign up and qualify for trials. So we needed a bigger and broader community. It's one of our two strategies: accelerating therapeutic development and enlarging and engaging an active community, that army of activists. Before, we were getting maybe, I don't know, 75 to 100 to 125 at our webinars. All of a sudden, we're getting 1,500, 1,900, 2,000 people. And so our community has expanded and grown beyond our wildest imaginations. Now, the worst of times is we can't be with our people. We can't be with the pharmaceutical companies that are moving forward, but we've even found a way there to continue to move forward. We had some key workshops that were going to then spawn or spin off into obstacle elimination projects, is what I call them, because we have some obstacles to clinical trials and clinical development. And this was going to be a springboard into those projects. Well, we had one or two of those meetings, and we are moving forward with those projects. But hey, our Chief Science Officer, Jamshid Arjman, he just began to contact researchers and contact contract research organizations, professional companies, for-profit companies that can do some of our work. And we've already moved and advanced much further than I would have thought possible. I know that both of those things, those engaging a larger community, and I think you're going to have Jamshid on a little bit later on in the day, and I don't want to steal any of his thunder, and I have a habit of doing that. So suffice it to say that it has been the best of times, and maybe challenging times, yes, but we, in the spirit of FSHD Society and our families, have overcome and are overcoming because of our families, because of the fuel you provided.
So it's obvious, yeah, obstacles. We knew that. The fact, though, that it sounds like it's created some opportunities, made the best of that. That is very,
Exactly.
very exciting. So
Yeah.
just imagine then what 2021 will be. So your big focus, it sounds like some of it is that obstacle elimination projects pushing into 2021. Is there any more things that we're hoping to accomplish in that year?
Well, yes, there are some strong key obstacles, typically around biomarkers. And what those are things that can serve as a marker for instance, eliminating DUX4. One of the challenges in the Fulcrum trial is trying to identify where DUX4 is active, to treat it, and then to go back to that same spot and identify if it's actually reduced it. And it's a challenge because we don't have a consistent marker, if you will, of DUX4 activity systemically through your whole body. And we've already begun some of those projects, and we're already making contracts and commitments based on the donations and giving we're getting right now. You see, we fund forward, so we raise the money and then we allocate the money. And so we know that we've got the largest research and science budget that we've ever had, by almost double, coming into 2021. And the only thing that will stop us from completing that and completing the projects or getting real far and real deep into those obstacle elimination things is the dollars we raise this year. If we fall way short, we can only do so much. And that's just in all honesty. And so that's why we're in this push. That's why Giving Tuesday is so vitally important. That's why I have to thank all of our matching partners. There's about a half a dozen families that have stepped forward and account for that 150,000. They said, we'll match, dollar for dollar the donations given on on Giving Tuesday up to, and so far we're up to 150,000. And so, you know, that's why it's important. And that's what the dollars are going to be designated for going forward in 2021. And we believe that with our partners lined up, with the projects already priced out, and the challenges ahead really just being implementing the projects and enough dollars to cover it, that our families, the society, we together will accomplish this goal.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like we're just having to connect the dots here in 2021.
Exactly.
Being done, let's kind of bridge those gaps, connect the dots a little bit. That comes with funding, participation, great sponsors, supporters, like you mentioned, the partners. I mean, that's amazing. Just overnight, the generosity of these people is just mind-blowing to me. Mind-blowing.
That was exactly my words. I'm reeling, if you will, and that there's not much that throws me off kilter a little bit, even in the good way. But you know, I'm thinking, what? This is amazing. This is amazing. And during a difficult year, it's been difficult for many of our families, but we have persevered. We have matched last year's best year, or are real close to matching it, and are moving forward and pushing forward. So our families have really given us and give us the confidence to move forward. It's just this last critical month, which will then determine, as the board meets to adjudicate the new budget for 2021 and some of those other business things that we take care of and handle, and we're good stewards of, actually. It will determine whether we can do a go or no go on some of these projects that are absolutely necessary. Because like our kind of theme for this time of season is time equals lives. And there's a little bit of a story behind that. I think I came up with that, and that's not kudos to me that I came up with that, but it was from a former time when I'm talking to a whole group of pharmaceuticals. And one pharmaceutical guy had told me, Mark, you need to understand that for us, time equals money. And so if you can save us time, you can save us money, and you're valuable to us as a patient organization. This was in another organization. And so I was talking to them and I was recounting that story. And I said, so I know your value statement is time equals money, but to us, time equals lives. And it's never so more true than right now, because our families are counting on and depending on this. And each moment that goes by, you know, DUX4 could do the damage. And I can't hardly tolerate it, that we wait any longer. And so we must do this. We know that. It's a mandate, really from our families, that we have to do this. We have to do this.
I feel like, you know, people say this is the fourth quarter of the year, the last quarter. I'm a sports guy. I'm a coach, Mark. And I think then fourth quarter, right? You have to finish strong. You have to end it the right way. Winning or losing, and when it comes to the world of competition. And I definitely see this as the competition is against DUX4, stopping this progression. You spot on, time equals lives. What's your fourth quarter speech to us? Wow.
What a great imagery. 2 minutes left. You know, they've got us pinned back on the 10-yard line, so to speak, to use football analogy. But hey, we can do it if we work together as a team. If we each take care of what we can do. In other words, we're not asking everybody to do what they can't do. But if, again, going back to that football analogy, if the offensive line hits their blocks every time, if the receivers hit their routines and go full out all the time, if the quarterback and the halfbacks, if they do their job, we can march down the field. We've got plenty of time to do it, but we've all got to do what is before us. And I can't think of a better analogy than that we're not asking for somebody to give us $1 million unless that is your job. That is your obligation, and you have those kinds of resources. We're not asking for somebody to give us $100,000. We're asking each and every person, every one of us that are in this family, in this community, to do what is before us. So, you know, hit your blocks, do what you can do what you're built to do what you're gifted to do, if you will, and then that'll be enough. That will be enough, and we'll get there. We will get there.
Beautiful, beautiful. I'm right behind you, Coach. I'm right behind you, man. Right
As a
behind
matter of fact, you
Let's
know,
go.
sometimes it's not all about money. Some people really need to take that step, and they need to sign up. They need to sign up and self-identify as a patient, someone with FSHD, living with FSHD, and then be willing and available to go to sign up for studies like the Resolve study or the new Mover study that's happening in our clinical trial research network that we launched some years ago. Some need to sign up and show up for clinical trials. That's absolutely essential and important. Some need to reach out to their family and friends and say, hey, created a little fundraiser page. I'm going for $100 or $200 or $1,000 or whatever. Could you give? Could you give today? You know, if we each do what we can do, then together we will make a miracle happen. Again, to go back to a former coach that had a Cinderella season some years back now, when the Eagles actually won, the Philadelphia Eagles actually won the Super Bowl. At the beginning of training camp, he walked in and he looked at his guys, and, you know, they had a horrible record the year before. And he said, listen, each person here can make a difference, but only a team can make a miracle. And we're going for miracles.
Yep.
And we need everybody. We need everybody on Team FSHD. And I believe together we can do it. We can absolutely do it.
100% with you, brother. 100% with you. Thanks, Mark, for kicking us off, getting it going like you always do. You are the perfect way to send this off. I know we're going to see you at the end, too, to give that final push, being our last guest. So you're going to close the door with us later tonight. But appreciate you getting up early here in the morning and getting going with us. Oh, thanks for having me. And again, stay tuned in. I think that match total is going to rise, but right now we're at $150,000. So we'll match everybody dollar for dollar up to $150,000. So keep those cards and letters coming, and we'll all do our part. Well put. Well put. Thanks, Tim. Yep. Thank you.